Hello and welcome back to our channel. I'm Giuseppe Delegiti Informatica, and about a year ago we reviewed the Duotts bikes, an F26, one S26. I have used them a lot since then, and today I will tell you about my experience a year away. From the days we made the review, thanks to my two Duos, I was able to explore dirt trails, challenging climbs. Remember that I live near Etna. Here the climbs certainly do not lack city roads, obviously respecting the speed limit, and therefore I traveled several hundred kilometers both with the F26 and with the S26. So after a year of use, I am ready to share with you my impressions and my feelings about these two e-bikes. Including a small comparison between the two models, both the F26 and S26 have a twin 750 watt motor, so we have one at the rear hub and one at the front hub. The front one is obviously disabled, so we can decide whether to use full power or only that of a single engine, which is still not small. In total, however, we have 1500 watts and a torque of about 140 Newton meters. Feel everyone on the road. In fact, this power translates into a remarkable thrust that allows you to face with extreme ease any type of terrain. Even the steepest climbs do not require special effort on the part of the driver. You can safely go anywhere. Surely it is appreciable the particular fluidity and readiness in the response of the engine. In fact, the start is not jerky, even if on the S26 we have a slightly softer start. This allows us to borrow power better and therefore avoid skidding, but to make the most of the power. So from this point of view, the S26 is the best of the F26. Obviously, as regards the gearing, we refer to the use on dirt road on private land with both active engines and the use of the accelerator. While if we use the pedal assist, the problem of gearing does not exist. In fact, both bikes manage to modulate the power and push they give to the Appio well. On both models you can start safely with only one engine and then insert the second engine even while we are driving. Obviously, as soon as we press the button, the engine does not activate immediately. It will pass a few moments in order to give time to the two control units to optimize the power supply to the battery and therefore make the most of the power supply and power to the wheels. Both bikes have a 20 amp battery now for 48 volts. This guarantees about 100-120 km in pedal assist and 40-60 km in electric only mode. Obviously this, as I always say, depends on the type of path you take. Obviously if you pedal in the plain you will certainly get the autonomy declared by the manufacturer. If instead you exploit it on climbs, challenging routes, etc., the autonomy obviously lowers. But this any type of engine does it even if it is gasoline. The higher you climb and the more you strain the engine, the higher the consumption. After a year of use, I can say that the data provided by the manufacturer are more or less accurate, in the sense that, I repeat, using the bike in certain situations, the consumption. They increase quite a bit, especially if we use it with both motors. It drains the battery much faster. The battery being 20 amps for 48 volts and we're at about 900 watts. The bike with only one motor consumes 750, so the autonomy is close to that declared by the manufacturer. If of course we use the two motors, then it reaches 1500 watts. We drain the battery much faster but use two motors. I recommend it only when you need to have more power to overcome some challenging climbs, or if you have care and therefore want to complete the route quickly. You don't care about battery consumption and therefore use two motors. Otherwise, I recommend to use only one to extend the life of the battery and therefore also the autonomy. Both bikes have tires made of 26. They offer excellent grip even on dirt roads, even on stone quarries, and therefore on any terrain. We have no grip problems. You are very comfortable. It depends on how much you obviously inflate the tires. And if you use it purely on terrains on regular surfaces such as asphalt or anyway urban pavement, you can maintain a pressure a little higher then have the wheels a little stiffer and have a If instead you want to go off-road, it is better to deflate the tires a little to have a little more grip on dirt roads, and also a little more cushioning, in addition to that provided by the shock absorbers. Both bikes are damped on the fork, while the S26 is also damped on the rear. Obviously the rear shock gives a little more comfort than the F26, which does not have it, but you still travel well on both bikes, thanks also to the seat, very comfortable. In this year of use, I subjected both the Duotts F26 and the Duotts S26 quite a bit of strapazzi. I used them mainly in off-road. I had a lot of fun, I must say, but I also verified the fact that the components are of excellent quality. The frame is very durable, it has taken quite a few hits, but has never made any kind of problem. Aluminum alloy is light and al. Once robust, the bike, however, is heavy. We are about 40 kilo, but thanks to the two engines, you don't even notice it when you use it on rough terrain in off-road. A very robust frame gives you a much more pleasant riding feeling, much safer, and I guarantee that you will have a lot of fun. Even in use on long journeys, both bikes behave very well. The saddle, as I said, is very comfortable, so even on the asphalt you go fast, you are also very comfortable. The only note I can make, but this bike in terms of comfort and safety, is that it is not really linked to these two models, but in general when you use, for example, a motorcycle. To go off-road in the descents, exploit the engine brake, so do not use the brakes much, but it is the engine itself that slows you down. On an electric bike this does not exist, because downhill you are free and there is nothing stopping you apart from the braking system. In the video we put in the background, we used the bikes on a route where there were several very steep descents, and considering the heat of the day, my weight of about 90 kilo and plus 40 of the bike, at a certain point I got to smoke the pills. That is, the brakes overheated so much that the disc browned and the pills smoked. Nothing serious. I stopped for a few minutes and the time to cool the braking system, and I started again quietly. Nothing has melted, there have been no fire problems, just some smoke due to the heat. If something like this happens to you, I advise against trying to cool discs and tablets with water, because you only risk twisting the disc. So once the disc deforms due to the thermal shock, you find yourself with brakes whistling every turn of the wheel and it becomes a mess. You have to go change the disc. You should just wait a few moments, and the discs are small. They are from 18 if I remember correctly, or from 16, and they cool down if they are not used fast enough. So stay still for 5 minutes and then you can safely resume using the bike. The Duotts S26 and the F26 are both excellent bikes in my opinion. After a year of use I am very satisfied. Among other things, the other bikes that I have reviewed so far, I gradually removed them because I do not have space to keep 30 electric bikes at home, but these two I kept precisely because they give me a lot of satisfaction and I have a lot of fun using them. They are very similar as bikes. The chassis is almost the same. The pneumatic tires are identical, the engines are the same thing. The hydraulic disc brake system is the same system practically. The only real difference between the two bikes is that the S26 has the suspension at the rear and therefore makes it a bit more comfortable in off-road use, but the F26 also does very well. In fact, thanks to the two wheels of 26 fat, and you can dampen anything just by using the right pressure on the wheels. It's useless for you to ask me what the right pressure is. The pressure depends on how much you weigh from the type of soil you do. So you have to do some tests to get the result that is more comfortable and gives you a feeling of security on the road, and in any case also a certain softness in the dirt road. If you make them too soft, obviously you risk cutting the tire resumes the shots directly on the rim, and therefore I advise against making it go completely empty. And obviously if you fill them too much, that is if they are too high pressure, they become very hard, and every shot a little hit that takes the wheel, you feel it on the handlebars, you feel it on the saddle. This applies to any bike and also to any motorcycle, so you need to do some testing to get the optimum pressure for your riding style. The maximum pressure is written on the tire bead, so you know that beyond a certain pressure you should not get there. And anyway, you realize even using it when the bike is very stiff means that the wheel is too inflated. After a year of use, I can say with extreme confidence that Ebike Duotts F26 ES26 are high quality products, reliable, and are really fun to ride, I repeat, especially in off-road. The price places them in a market segment in which there are very few competitors. In fact, we are about 1,300 or 1,400 euro, even a little less if you use the coupons that you find and the links that you find in the description in the video. Competitors with the same qualities, the same technical characteristics have much higher prices, so surely the Duotts are very attractive if you are looking for powerful, resistant bikes. And very fun to drive. Power, autonomy, comfort, and maneuverability are top notch. They are very fun bikes. The only thing I would like to have on these two bikes is the torque sensor. In my two models are the first ones that came out of F26 S26. There is the acceleration sensor, which is great, but I prefer the torque sensor because it also manages the range of the bike better, as well as giving a feeling of better driving. In any case, the new models have also been adapted to the torque sensor. In the description you will find the links to the technical sheets of both, and also find the coupons for the purchase. For any one of you who is looking for a bike that gives a nice, reliable and enjoyable riding experience, I highly recommend the Duotts, both the F26 and S26. And they are really perhaps the bikes that I appreciate the most at the moment and have the most fun with. As you can see from the pictures, the bike is great both on off-road and on asphalt. Only another Duotts can keep up with the Duotts. There is little that can be done because the performance is so high that other bikes lag far behind. So I absolutely recommend them. If you are interested in purchasing, in description I leave link and coupon. If you come to find us on our website lgdinformatica.com, you will find all the offers with all the coupons currently available, also on other types of bikes. If this slightly more mature review of the Duotts was useful to you, leave a like. Also subscribe to the channel. That's all for now. I refer you to the next review. Hello from Giuseppe from LG Informatica.